Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today's going to be a little bit different, but I just want to start off by saying that what's meant for you will definitely be for you. Okay? Once you stop fighting what's meant for you, everything will fall into place sooner or later. Okay? Hear me out. This is going to be a little backstory of my past and how I came to purchase my land and how I'm currently in the process of designing, and then eventually I want to start building, hopefully by the end of 2026 to early 2027. So maybe like the past 5-6 years, I want to say maybe that was like the roughest time in my life, but hey, I overcame it and I'm here. But I remember having like this goal in front of me of wanting to purchase homes in the United States, and my main focus or reason based on that was to have rental income, like rental property. That's what I wanted to start into. This was 5-6 years ago. I still have those dreams, but I've slightly not hyper focused on it as I was back then. And I remember I was going through a rough patch in my personal life with family members and everything, and I wanted to get a house so bad. Like 2 years straight I tried to purchase a home in the United States. 2 years. I originally wanted a 2 or 3 family because, like I said, rental income. I could take that rental income, invest in more property, or my end goal was to eventually buy a home back in Jamaica or build a home back in Jamaica for Airbnb purposes, right? My brain always thinking about the money. So I tried for close to 3 years straight, and nothing happened. And when I mean by nothing happened, I didn't get approved. The main reason why I did not get approved was because of my student loans. Hey, a girl had to go to college, university, get those degrees and whatnot. So that was my major setback. And I remember at this time I used to work at Amazon as a warehouse associate. So I used to work overnight, meaning I would go in at 1:20 in the morning a.m. and I wouldn't get off work until 11:50 a.m. that day. So 1:20 a.m. in the night to roughly 12 p.m. in the day. That's, yeah. And I remember one day I got off work, and I've been to so many like open houses, housing events, and I was working with the realtor, I was working with the banks and everything. And I got home from work and I was so tired that I made my bed on the floor, and I'm like, all right, I didn't even shower after work, that's why I made my bed on the floor. But too much, I'm not trying to go into too much personal information, but I received a call from like my realtor. She basically broke down why I didn't qualify and all that stuff. And then the banker, she called me and she explained the same thing, and she's like, my debt to income ratio, my student loans, my credit card. She's like, you just need to focus on bringing those balances down. And at that moment, I felt so defeated. I felt like I want to move one step in one direction, and I got knocked back like 10 steps, and I broke down. And I think maybe that was my turning point. And I switched my mindset, and I started looking at, even though I'm staying with family and I had issues or problem, it's best that, I stay where I'm at until I could clean up my finances and have like a better opportunity to do what I wanted to do, which was rental income. So I'm like, all right, okay, since trying to purchase a home didn't work, and mind you, I said I wanted a 2 to 3 family house. That didn't work. So I'm like, all right, I'll do like a duplex or a single family. And the only thing I qualified for was a condo. But then after they gave me a rough estimate of how much I would qualify for a condo, after they went in and they look at my student loans, they're like, oh, we can't even give you that much for a condo. So I'm like, okay, whatever. My next focus was on getting an apartment. And I found a really nice 1-bedroom apartment. I did the application process, and I paid the deposit. And the reason why I had the deposit was I was saving money. And at this point in time in my life, I think I had 10,000 US dollars saved. So I'm a good saver. I paid the deposit, and then here comes more problem. They wanted to make sure I made like 2 times the rent a month. Apparently, I didn't make 2.5 times the rent. I think I only made maybe two times the rent, and they wanted that extra half. And I couldn't produce. I used to do Uber at the time, work my regular job. I do nails on the side. What else? Yeah, at that time I couldn't produce. They're like, oh, if you could get someone to say like you babysit and they pay you this extra a week or a month or whatever, that could help. And I'm like, I don't do that, and I'm not going to lie to get into that, because if you're saying to make 2.5 times the rent and I only make 2 times the rent, then it is what it is. So that gave me a pushback as well. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at and see what happened. After that, I decided to go back for my master's degree in business administration with a focus on analytical intelligence. So after they just tell me like I have too much student loans, I decided to go back to school and I take on more student loans. And I'm glad I did, because I got my degree in 2023. And at that time, I found a job that was paying me, a decent amount. I was making a decent amount. And there were some things happening before my personal life. I don't want to go into too much details, but my grandmother passed away, and we were like this, like literally. I used to sleep beside her like every night. I used to take care of her, like make her breakfast, do her medication, stuff like that. She passed away several years before 2023, maybe like late 2000, early 2013, 2012-ish. I don't remember fully. And I didn't get a chance to go to her funeral. And I remember 2023, I kept having dreams of her, and she would just visit me. She wouldn't say anything, but the look on her face, like she wasn't pleased. And I tell myself, like, I cannot let 2023 end and not at least visit like her tombside site. So I went there, and after I went to Jamaica September, and I think I did maybe a week or 4 days, 5 days, and then I came back. And my last day there, she came to me again, and she didn't say anything, but she didn't have that displeasant look on her face. She was more, I want to say, like relief. And then because I hadn't been to Jamaica in over 10 years, I decided that I wanted to go for Christmas. I haven't been there for Christmas in so long. So that same year, I booked my ticket and I went back for Christmas. And I think I spent a weekend. Fast forward to 2024, this was when I took it serious. 2024. I went there and I picked out my piece. Unfortunately, other people had already made a deposit on the lot that I wanted. And I didn't look at it as like any major setback. I just look at it as, if I want this, I have to try harder. I've been trying to get a house for 2 years. I can't just be discouraged after, one liquor, whatever, with the land. And yeah, the ones I kept picking, they're like, oh, that's out of, other people started depositing on it. And then I came back, and my friend, my father, he's like a father figure to me. I had him drove over to the development, the subdivision, and I had him pick out one that he liked, and he showed me, he called me, he video called me, and we're on the phone. And I'm like, all right, I don't want anywhere water's gonna settle, and I want something that's in the back. And that's exactly what I got. And this was in September of 2024. So 2024, I picked out the lot, I made my deposit, and the deposit was 10% of the price. So I paid 5.5 million Jamaican dollars for the lot. So the deposit was 550,000 Jamaican dollars, maybe 3,600 and something US dollar. And fast forward to 2025, literally a year later, and I got the title in my hand. 1 year. It took me 1 year to get a piece of land, while I'm in the United States and I've been trying to get a house for 2 years, and that did not work out. And I, not say I gave up, but I shift my focus elsewhere, and that came through. And this is the reason why I started the video by saying that what's meant for you will definitely be for you. Once you stop forcing your life to look a certain way, to go a certain way, everything that is meant for you will start to align with you. The more you resist something, is the more, I don't know how to explain that, but you have to be less resistant to like new opportunities for your life to end up the way that you want it to end up, or even better. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Just, if you feel like giving up, don't give up. try refocusing, try rerouting your vision, your goals. Don't give up. Just, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for clicking, and I hope you guys got something useful from this video. I'll see you in my other video.